What is up, you guys? It's your favorite tarot reader, and I am back. Except for I'm not back with another read, honey. I am back with how I'm manifesting my twin flame day. Like, I don't know what day this is, y'all, but like, I am an asshole. I am such an asshole, y'all. So I haven't really been out here in a while and told y'all my situation. And y'all, my ass had to come on here because let me tell y'all, when dating, bitch, I feel like it's so easy to think that like shit just gonna be perfect and that it ain't gonna be no fights and that everything is just gonna be sunshine, bitch, and shit. And I feel like when you get into some real shit, it's real life taking a whole chance on your whole shit, like giving your whole heart to somebody and just being like, here, like you can fuck this shit up if you want to. You can do whatever the fuck you want to this shit. I give it to you. Like, I'm giving it to you. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I think being in an honest, in a real, true relationship, it forces you to see your flaws. It forces you to kind of like face yourself, because the person who is like real life for you, supposed to be for you, they gonna be like literally a mirror fucking reflection of you, a mirror reflection of you. And like, I think that's why so many times we run from love, or we run from like um just kind of like intimacy and like vulnerability and like getting close with people and shit like that, just because it's hard to get to know yourself. Like, it's really, really eye opening, and it's really sometimes sad, having these realizations and having these epiphanies about yourself through dealing with somebody else, realizing that I'm not perfect. And it's crazy because I can't, just from how I'm dating now versus how I was dating in the past, even in videos that y'all have watched in the past, this is why y'all on a journey with me. Watch the past videos and watch how I evolved and evolved with me. The position that I'm in now, y'all can tell I felt like I was so perfect. I felt like I was just a perfect woman, and the perfect man needed to be attracted to me, and I needed him to be just like, And now that I'm in something serious and stable and solid, I feel like I've fallen into my shadow side a lot more. I've fallen into really understanding that everybody has a shadow side, everybody has toxic traits, everybody has flaws, and love is like really accepting somebody's flaws, and you being able to like accept your own and love your own flaws enough, because I feel like dating somebody forces you to see your flaws. Like, it forces your insecurities right out into the open. When you are dealing with somebody who you are not equal to, you will feel perfect. You will feel like you doing more than them. You will feel like you giving too much to them, because that's not the person for you, because that person isn't equal. But when you start to date someone who is pouring into you just as much as you are pouring into them, you start to want to make sure that you're doing everything in your power to make sure that shit gonna be straight. Like, you want to heal yourself. You want to face your problems. You want to face yourself, you know? Because you know that it's gonna make you love you better so that you can love them better, right? So, as y'all know, on this twin flame journey, I have talked about a couple different people, and how I thought they were like my divine counterparts, and how I thought they were my husbands, and um, you know, all of that. And I never really talked about getting the guy. Like, I never really talked about being in a relationship, being in something like for real, like once the dating phase is over and it's like, bitch, it's here. I never really got to that stage. So I haven't really had much of an insight. I didn't really have any knowledge of this experience, because I never been through something like this. I never dated an equal to me. And because I'm vibrating where I'm vibrating, because I am where I am in my healing journey, I've attracted somebody who is where I am. And I can't lie, y'all, I've been so scared. I've been self-sabotaging this whole shit. And just today, I did some fucked up shit. And I was like, I had to take my time with myself and just be like, you are still lovable. Because I was the one who did some fucked up shit, right? And it was like, I was being hard on myself for like, we can just end this. Like, you don't got to deal with me. You don't got to deal with me. Like, this is what I was thinking in my mind. But I'm just like, why be so quick to like give up on something? Like, is it that you don't feel like you worthy of somebody like being patient with you? Like, is that showing you that maybe you're not patient with other people? Like, that's what a relationship should do for you. It should invoke that type of conversation, like that type of, I don't know. Like, it's just kind of like, it's so fiery and so like intense, because it's more than just like, I don't know how I can explain it. It's more than just breaking down somebody else's walls. It's breaking down your own. Like, it's learning to unlearn past things about yourself that you have adapted from hurt, from pain, and from trauma and shit. Like, ways of being that's not even really you. That's not even really how you are. That's not even in your essence of being, but you have just taken on that persona because of what you've been through, right? And I feel like now, because you want better for yourself, because you want some shit to work, it's kind of like you being forced to eliminate all that shit, to just get rid of it. And it's kind of like, if you don't have those triggers, if you don't go through those things, how would you even know that you love a person enough to love their flaws? I feel like most times when we get into these situationships, and when we get into situationships, we get scared. And that's why they don't turn into relationships, because we get scared that this person is going to have my whole heart. This person can have my whole heart and do whatever the fuck they want to it. They can break it. They can love me. It's theirs to have because I'm giving it to them, So people get scared and they get fearful of that pain and that trauma that comes with heartbreak. But I think falling in for real love is like being like, I am scared, but that don't mean I don't want to do it. Being like, fuck it, like, just fuck it, like, let's just try. I feel like a lot of times people, and not even just people, because I'm talking about all of us, like, we never really give 100% of ourselves in any situations. out of fear of shit not working out, right? So it's kind of like we go into these situations and you giving probably like 70% of yourself, right? 70% of yourself. So this person is only falling for 70% of you. That person don't even know all of you. So, of course, that person is only going to give you 70% of them because they going to feel the energy. Like, they going to feel you holding back or whatever. So, it's kind of like a domino effect. It's kind of like a domino effect. And I feel like I'm learning in this lifetime that you really do, like, give what you get. So, one thing that I had learned while being on this journey, dating or whatever. So, now I think I have gotten past the dating phase, and now let's say we in the beginning stages of the relationship, right? So now we're going through relationship pains and getting to know each other pains, right? And I was starting to notice like that the way that I communicated was very guarded. The way that I communicated was very like reserved and kind of like to myself. Like I communicate with myself but nobody else. And it was kind of like I made that a thing. Like, I made that okay. I made that the norm. Because then, when I started to have questions, it started to be, oh, I don't got an answer. Or, I can just think about it to myself. But why? Because I had created that norm, though. Like, you know, I feel like you got to be so mindful. You got to be so mindful of like your actions. And I think that coming into getting to know yourself, you become more aware of your actions because you have somebody there reacting to your reaction. So you have a trigger, a trigger, a trigger helping you, like helping you ascend. That's kind of what a divine counterpart is. It's the other piece to your soul, like helping you get better, helping you get better. And I don't know. It's such a powerful feeling. It's such a enlightening feeling. You know, feeling this wise, if that makes sense. Like before, in the last, I would say like couple months, because y'all see the transition. Like I said, I post videos through every transition, and my transition now has just been, at this point, I feel like just working on my shadow side, like tapping into the things that maybe I've just put onto myself. Like, I've never really been the type of female to be like hella insecure, or maybe I thought that I wasn't, and now that I'm realizing, like, maybe what if I have been, you know? And listen, I'd be the first to say, like, I was never an insecure girlfriend in a relationship. Like, that was never me. I'm not the type of girl, blah blah blah. And now I feel like every single day I find myself like just questioning, like, what's going on? Like, what do I know? What do I know? Like, what is my intuition telling me? Like, how am I supposed to go about this? It's kind of like every single day I'm like waiting for the ball to drop. Like every single day I'm like waiting for something negative to happen, or waiting for something bad to happen. And it's like I'm manifesting it for myself, or I was manifesting it for myself, right? I had to put myself in a position of realizing and being aware of what I was doing to myself. I was putting myself in a position of feeling like I don't deserve this. Why? I didn't do no work. I even kept saying that. Like, when I first got in my situation, I kept saying that. Like, I don't know what I did. Like, I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did to deserve this. I don't know. I don't know what test I passed to get this. Like, you too good to be true, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, what? And I feel like that's where my insecurities were kind of like coming from. I hadn't realized that I really did do the work. You know, my insecurities didn't come from anyone else. It didn't come from the relationship itself or dating, being in situationships. It never came from that. It came from me. And that's what a significant other is supposed to push out of you, those realizations, those epiphanies. And it was kind of just like, when you don't know why you deserve some shit and why you're worthy of it, you're not gonna cherish it. You're not gonna take care of it. You're not gonna nurture it, because you don't it's not a value to you, because you don't know why you got it, right? And that's how I treated my relationship. I was kind of just like, I don't know, God, why you brought me this man. I don't know why he's so good. I don't know why he's so good to be true. I don't know why he is perfect for me. He not perfect, but he perfect for me. I kept questioning it. Like, I kept questioning it. But if y'all remember all of the videos that I did prior to this one, I was never questioning it. As soon as I started talking to a nigga, I was like, I love him. I never questioned it. But when it was something that was good for me, it scared me into fear, into anxiety. And it caused me to question me, to question him, to question God. You know? And if you listen to even just the playlist, my playlist has changed to like this type of music, like we gonna grow old together type shit. And I think that scared me. It scared me because I'm like it's finally here type shit. This is what's it. This was it. And that shit put me in so much anxiety. It put me in such a fearful mindset, because I'm like, so much shit that went wrong. Who's to say this shit not gonna go wrong too? Like, who's to say I'm not gonna end up fucked up in the end about this shit, right? And it was like, every single day, I allowed this virus that has been set out into the matrix. It's like Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph, if y'all have seen Wreck-It Ralph 2, the virus, the insecurity virus, I love watching cartoons. I have my inner child. She loves watching cartoons. But if y'all are watching this video and y'all are understanding what I'm saying, and you are a woman or you are a man who has been dealing with insecurities, watch Wreck-It Ralph 2. He really wanted to be her friend, and she wanted to venture off and do other things. And he was so insecure that she would forget about him. So it was like he attached to her. And the insecurities kind of like fucked shit up. Like, the insecurities was the virus. And I feel like that is kind of what's happening in the world right now. The matrix has been injected with the virus of fear and anxiety, and that is like a domino effect in itself, creating anxiety and insecurities and turmoil and tension where there doesn't need to be any. And in the most blessed of unions, in the most blessed of connections, whether it be friendships, parent-child relationships, whatever, the devil will try to get in and try to feed off that negativity. Soon as it finds an outlet, soon as it finds a glitch in a system. And I feel like sometimes, we think I have to be completely healed in order to get into a relationship. And that's what I was thinking. That's why I kept telling myself, like, why, like, what did I do to deserve this? How do I deserve this situation that I'm in right now? How, right? How? I got scared. I started being insecure. I started looking over. Like, I wasn't really looking over his shoulder, but in my mind, I'm like, every time the phone rings, I'm like, damn, who's that? Like, who is that? And in the past, that was shit that I didn't even worry about. Shit that I wanted to be so oblivious to. But I think now I'm just smarter and I'm just more aware. And these are like growing pains. Like, who's to say that we not supposed to go through certain shit so that we don't gotta go through it later, like down the line and shit, right? And I think a lot of times, like, that fear creeps in as soon as you feel some pain, because it's like, damn, all pain feel the same. That's the connotation that we have. All pain feel the same. Pain not good. It's not good. But it's kind of like, it's all pain is good. All pain is good in some way, but I feel like there's different kinds of pain. You know? And I don't feel like at this point in my life, God is really putting anything in my path to cause me pain, to cause me turmoil, you know? I feel like I'm just being strengthened and learning and growing, and, you know, I was so fearful. I was in so much anxiety. I'm like, I can't tell my baby daddy that I'm in a situation. That was another thing that was like a big thing for me, caused me a lot of anxiety. I'm like, he gonna snap, he gonna beat my ass, he gonna be mad, he gonna stop talking to Kamaya. And it's kind of just like, why don't you have more faith in him? Like, why don't you have more faith in the people that you have around you? The man that you had a child with. You know, you call this man your best friend. You say he's such a good father. Why would you think that he would stop talking to you? Or stop talking to your child? Or be less of a man? You know? But I had that fear. I had that anxiety. And that was all on my own. That didn't have nothing to do with him, because he didn't give me no signs of that. But it was that fear within me that maybe I wasn't ready. Like, oh, I'm not ready. I got to keep this a secret. And then shit started backfiring. I even told him, I kept telling him, like, I want to keep this a secret. And then I made that the norm. So when it came out that, okay, we not telling nobody about this, like, this not a thing, I felt offended. Even though it was my idea. Right? So it's kind of like self-sabotage. A mirror. Like, he meant to show me, like, freeze. No. No. Like, that's not how you love. That's how you used to love. That's your old version of love. Being the easy going girl. Oh, we can just be single. You can go talk to other girls if you want. When a man is telling you who he wants. When a man is choosing you. When a man wants to help you and you tell him, oh, I don't need help. I got it. Like, you're not even letting him help you. That's the type of person I have become. You know, I've gotten so okay with being single. I've gotten so okay. Think about it. It only takes like 30 days, 21 days, whatever, to break a bad habit or to start a new one, right? I've been single for a year. So, I've been single for 3 years, but I've been not, like, actively doing anything for like a year now. So, I've had time to kind of like sit with myself and do my work and be with myself. And I thought I had to be completely healed to even remotely manifest a good man. But a good man is not all the way healed. A man who has trauma, a man who has pain is still a good man. Because I'm still a good woman, even with all my pain and with all my trauma. And you never gonna be 100% healed. But isn't that why God brings you a divine counterpart? To help you heal the pieces of yourself that you may not notice. The pieces of you that you can't understand. The pieces of you that you refuse to understand, that you refuse to see. I feel like, y'all, whether you a woman or a man watching, don't run away from your blessings. You know, face them. Don't run away from yourself. You know, give yourself the opportunity to learn yourself and be patient with yourself. Be willing to not give up on yourself, because you are worthy of patience, and you are worthy of kindness, and you are worthy of being courageous. It takes a certain kind of courage and strength to love somebody fearlessly. You can do it. You can do it. You know, just because you weren't loved correctly, or just because you have pain, or just because people have hurt you or damaged your love or taken advantage of your love, it does not mean that God will not bring you someone who will be worthy of your love and deserving of your love. Open yourself up and open your heart up to receive love, to be loved. You know, if you want to be of light and love, like you say, do it every day in your walk in life. You know, a lot of times, even like, I feel like being in a relationship also forces you to better friendships, because you want to have that space, like you want to have lives outside of each other. And I feel like understanding how to communicate in a relationship is kind of like, if I can learn how to communicate and not be upset with my man, why can't I do that same thing for my friend, for my best friend, or for my mom, or for my auntie, or for my cousin? You know, all relationships are so important. So even if, I'm talking about how I'm manifesting a husband / my twin flame, y'all can use this video for all kinds of relationships in y'all life, because I'm also learning to communicate better with my mom, better communicate with my brother and my child. You know, I feel like I've been in such a learning curve. I've been in such a transitional period in my life to where I can't do anything but be grateful for every lesson that I learned. Like, I'm loving going through shit. Like, I'm loving it, because it's teaching me my strength. Like, it's teaching me that, like, there's nothing that I really can't handle. There's no amount of struggle that God not gonna get me through or help me out of. I feel like I can do anything. I feel like there is no limit to anything that I want to make happen, any amount of happiness I want to acquire, any amount of peace or knowledge. I can have it. I feel like I already got it within me. It's just about being confident enough in myself and loving myself enough and trusting God enough to bring it up out of me. Because it's already there. It's embedded in my DNA. It's just me. That's who God made me to be. I'm powerful. I'm strong. So the fact that struggle had to be a part of my journey, it's just a part of it. Like, it is what it is. And at this point, I can honestly say I have found a love within myself, within God, within my family, within my soul tribe, within my community, within y'all, and honestly within my significant other, that I have never felt before, ever. The amount of love that it pours out of me makes me ready for more pain, makes me ready to get through shit with him, makes me ready to have falling outs and arguments, because that's that passion. You know, it don't have to be fights, but to go through things with each other, to struggle with each other, it makes me look forward to growing old with him. Knowing that we gonna get over this. This is something that we can do. You know, realizing that pain is temporary. We'll be okay tomorrow. You know, this is not going to sleep upset. I'm learning that, like, something don't go my way, instead of speaking on it, instead of talking about it, I just be in my head like, you supposed to know what I'm thinking. Like, I need time. Like, I just be like, fuck you. Like, just be mad. I be mad all night. I won't talk to you all day. And be like, I don't give a fuck. I'm talking to my spirit guys. I don't need to talk to you. And now, being in a relationship with a divine counterpart, you also have to show up for them and make sure that their needs are met. Because while your needs are you not wanting to communicate and you not needing to communicate, in their mind, it could send them somewhere else, like into whole confusion, because they don't know what you're thinking. They don't know what you got going on. And I feel like so often we focus on what we want and what makes us happy and what's good for us and how we want to be loved and how we want to be treated and how we want to be communicated with and adored. And we don't love our partners enough to love them how they need to be loved and to compromise with them. And I think meeting your divine counterpart, meeting the person that God truly has for you, it's different. Like, and y'all, because I don't know if anybody is gonna like understand this, because like I have a child and I love my child like with every single bone in my body. Like, my child is my everything. But like, even your child, even your parent, even your brothers and sisters cannot invoke the level of growth that a relationship can, because there's a different level of intimacy that's attached to it. So now it's kind of just like, I feel like he's added to my journey. Like, I pray for him, and I pray that I love him correctly through loving myself correctly. Like, if I love myself how I would want to be loved, if I communicated with myself, if I showed up for myself, naturally I would do it for all the people that I love, right? And it's kind of like, that's all I want to do. All I want to do is create like a stable family foundation with like my parents and my family and my children. That's all I've been preaching to y'all, is that part of my mission is bringing back 33 Thank Yous and Masters, black love, black marriage, black abundance, generational wealth, and just bringing back legacies being built, us tapping into our gods and goddesses within us and our kings and queens within us, our true divinity, our true power. We have superpowers, okay? And as you unite with your divine counterpart and your soul tribe, you ignite each other's powers. You activate each other's powers, right? So you also activate each other's love. And because my heart chakra has been activated, my heart feels different, my breathing is different, and I crave and I desire being different for the man that I love. I've been in the position where I feel like I keep fucking up, or I keep doing things that could be better. And it's to show me that, like, I do have damage. Like, it's like you be in a car accident. There's gonna be damage to your car. Sometimes cars even be totaled. Doesn't mean you can't get a new one. Doesn't mean you can't have the car of your dreams, right? And for so long, I thought that being damaged meant bad things. I had this perception of bad, but what the fuck is bad, right? Feeling like nobody could ever love you through all of that or with all of that. Talking down on yourself. I'm calling myself weird, and I be telling him like, you tired of me. He probably don't be tired of me, but I put that on him. Or like little things that you notice that you do. It's important to heal those things within yourself. It's important to recognize those things within yourself, because if you didn't have somebody with you or around you, you probably wouldn't notice that about yourself, that you talk down on yourself, because it's just normal to you. You know, but having somebody call you out on it, like, don't do that to yourself, that's so powerful. It's so powerful, and I'm so grateful, and I'm so appreciative, and I'm so thankful. So this is kind of like a prayers of a light worker too, because I am thankful and I am so grateful to be put in this position, you know, to be able to share my testimony of what's happening with me and how I heal so that you guys can heal as well. That's a blessing. That's a blessing to be in it, to be able to vent and get my story out, even just to me when I rewatch it back. It's powerful. It's power in your words. It's powerful in the things that you speak. And just rewatching my old videos, I promise you, I see so much growth in me. I see so much growth in my eyes and just in my overall well-being. And it makes me so proud of me. It gives me those little boosts of confidence where maybe sometimes I don't feel it. Where I feel like I'm not doing enough, or I'm not healing enough, or I'm not being spiritual enough, or whatever insecurities may overcome me. I feel like God always sends me a sign or a way or a reason to know that, like, I'm guided and I'm divinely protected all the time. Not just some of the time. Not just when I'm going through something, or not just when I'm happy, all the time. No matter what. So even if, you know, I go through something in my situationship or my relationship, at that point, at that moment, I'm learning to just know that God has me protected and I'm okay. You know, I overreact to a lot of stuff, because I've been so quiet in my life. I've never really had a voice. My whole life, I've never really had a voice. I've never really spoken up. I've never really knew who I was enough to even know what the fuck I wanted to say. So why speak if it's not going to be of value, right? Now, I'm learning that, well, okay, I jumped a step. So I didn't have a voice, and then I went to making my voice always heard through anger. Just cussing everybody out, being angry all the time. You gonna hear me, you gonna deal with me, blah, 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 blah. And then I went to the phase of just, like, being above it all. Like, I don't gotta talk to nobody. Right? I ain't gotta talk to nobody. I don't gotta fuck all of y'all. Like, bitch, fuck you. Like, fuck, I ain't gotta, whatever. Now, I feel like I'm learning how to have a healthy balance. You know, learn how to communicate without shutting down. Learn how to have healthy relationships with people, healthy communications with people. You know, that's big for me. It's so big for me right now. And it's so important that I help myself be better. It's so important that I help myself be better. But yeah, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was how I manifested a twin flame. I believe they like either 23 or 24. I'm not sure. Y'all gonna see in the title above. But if y'all are enjoying the how I'm manifesting a twin flame videos, if y'all ever be taking stuff out of these videos for real, please let me know. Because if y'all don't get nothing out of them, I don't gotta post them. I could just video record them for myself. But no, for real, I enjoy doing them. They are very therapeutic for me. And to some, it may seem like putting your business out there, or, you know, like allowing others into your life and into your space. But because I believe that I am so divine and I am so protected, I feel like, who am I to keep my knowledge and my struggle a secret? no pain goes in vain. Like, my pain is meant to be healing to others. So whatever I go through, I share, you know. So yeah, like I said, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I am taking personal reading, so if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can cash at me at Mini Caprice Cooks. You can also email me or Apple Pay me at capricecooks@icloud.com. Also, I have started to sell jewelry over on my personal Instagram account at Caprice Sun Tarot. So if you are interested, head over there and check that out. I'm out of here, y'all.